rolling along for this super fun show, Toppings, Business Leadership Toppings, a story of help. We're going to bring up one of my favorite people in the dental world next, not just because he compliments me on the food I select for CE courses, but what we're going to do is talk about one of my favorite things. So everything that matters needs a system, and everything matters is my favorite quote, and make the best decision in the moment. So we just had Nick talking about dental insurance because offices use dental insurance, like my office. Good example, me, guy in blue sweater. But also, I use an in-house membership club for people that might not have dental insurance, may have lost their dental insurance during the pandemic. So I want to welcome Tom Camarota, who's been on Nacho TV many times. But Tom, if you could share a story of help, that would be awesome. And then we'll dig into what you guys do. Yeah, I think you're still muted there, Tom.
Oh, unmute myself. I thought I was waiting for you to unmute me. Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Yeah, so what we do is we help dentists start up their own membership savings plan, and we also help them sell products to their patients. So we do a number of things. But one of the most interesting things that I've heard in the last couple of months is when a dentist told me that they had just recently gotten a letter, and this was in the summer of COVID, basically, and they had just gotten a letter from their insurance company saying, hey, we're going to decrease our reimbursement rates to you. They had worked with this insurance company for many, many years. And, so then that kind of got them to the point where, I'm going to go and look back at my books for the past couple of years. And they looked back and they couldn't believe in the past 5 or 10 years, they had millions upon millions of dollars in write-offs to these insurance companies. And at that point, he's just like, I've had it.
It's like when the restaurants put the calories on the menu, like, well, now you've ruined it. I'm not getting But what happens is instead of your appetizer, it's your business. And that's such a good point because, it's nacho nuts to me that insurance companies are like, hey, we're going to pay you less than we did last year. Is that cool? If you said to your spouse, I'm going to love you less than last year, they would get very upset. But we are sometimes feel bonded to these insurance companies in a toxic way. And what Nick shared and what I would share is I've done fee negotiation. So I keep ones that are not spoiled guac PPO, but then you're able to remove ones from your plate that are, and you can we use Tom's in-house membership club. It's phenomenal. I love when I get the email saying someone has signed up for it. Welcome to the good, the bad, and the annoying of dropping spoiled guac PPO, an end of the year pop-up nacho TV show. For those of you watching in live, awesome. For those of you watching on demand later, awesome as well. My number one goal for 2023 for my dental practice is to sign up more patients for our membership club. We do use Nacho sponsor Tom Camarota. He's fantastic. Membership clubs bond us with our patients in a fun way, in a non-confusing way. This show is not about signing up for insurance plans, dropping insurance plans. It's making a plan about your plans. We have a special guest I'll be bringing up soon. What I would love for you to do if you're watching in is to ask any questions you would like in the Q&A. Ask any questions in the Q&A as to what my experience has been like. This has been our first year fully out of network with all spoiled guac PPOs. Not in network with any dental insurance plans. You can ask me how that has been for me, what's been the challenges, what's been the good, what's been the annoying. We're going to watch a few minutes more here of the preview before I bring up our first special guest. An in-house membership club, to me, is just a nacho-brainer, but I also want you to share, Tom, So a nacho dentist and I spoke yesterday. I've helped him with some things in his practice, like adding an in-house specialist. He really liked that. And he said, Paul, tell me what's the deal with shifting status. And here are a few points up on the screen for you to think about. Be proactive in explaining how dental insurance really works. I explain to people at coffee shops that dental insurance is not really insurance. It's a coupon that has a benefit, but like one of those coupons that have restrictions like blackout dates for airline miles. At our office, we're going to do the best job possible to maximize the benefit of your coupon. So one, be proactive in explaining how it works.
Two, track your stats. What are your real insurance adjustments? Go with facts, not feelings. I think that's a Dr. Phil thing. Feelings are not facts. You might think all of my patients have spoiled Guac PPO and they make us write off 40% of our fee. But when you look at it through your practice management software, maybe it's only 8% of your patients. Maybe it is 40%. You have to really look at your stats, the total insurance adjustments. When is your next open hygiene appointments? And stats plus stories will tell your story. Hey guys, this is Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman. I'm here in my office in Pennington, New Jersey. I've been a dentist here since 2004, associate to owner. One of my favorite places to be. Also, one of the more intense places to be. That's what I call stress intensity. Doing dentistry each day is like doing full contact arts and crafts on people who don't want to be here, or sometimes I describe it as like producing a Broadway play that nobody wants to see. But we get to do cool things like help people chew and smile with confidence, be part of a team, but there's so many moving parts and pieces that go on behind the scenes in your dental circus. I mean practice, I mean circus. And one of the things my team asked me to do was to make a video on what to say, some talking points on what to say when we are shifting status, as we are right now, with one of our in-network insurance plans. So we're not dropping it. No one's dropping anything on the floor like those little class 2 rings that ping around. And you're like, geez, I did not want to drop that. I need another one. You look to your dental assistant and say, what else do we have in the box? It's a mangled pedo ring. And you say, perfect. That will have. So this video is one of my most popular videos. When we did shift status with Spoiled Guac PPO in the beginning of this year, my front desk team said, Paul, that's great, but all the patients are upset with us at the front desk. And I said, well, I don't want that to be the case. So I made them this video as to what to say. We turned this video into a letter. We can text this video. Talks about how we explain dental insurance, how we do not want their dental insurance plan to have a seat at the table when making the best decisions about their teeth. But what I would like to do at this time is to bring up my GAD Golden Age dentist friend, Dr. Alan Stern. Alan, let's see, can you start your video yet, or do I need to do some
Hang on a second, let's see.
I might have to do
No,
something.
I can't do it.
Let me see here. So all the way from New Jersey on the last day of 2022, Golden Age dentist GAD, Dr. Alan Stern. But you call, I like to be positive. Remember I say teeth don't fail, to retire. So I say Golden Age dentist, but how do you describe being?
No, Paul, if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at anybody else. So it's geezer age dentist, baby.
Geezer, well, it's an affectionate term towards you. How many years have you been dentisting?
41.5, my friend.
41.5 years. That is amazing. I've been alive for 45 years.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're on here with me. There's a lot of, you're a coach too, you're a consultant. Give us a 90-second summary of how dental insurance has played a role in your life over these 41.5 years.
You see this gray hair?
Yeah.
You know, I heard you making a point earlier with Tom Camarota that dental insurance says, we're going to reimburse you a little bit less. Is that cool?
Yeah, right.
No, I see it a little differently. They're going to say, we're going to reimburse you less.
Yeah.
Got it. New Jersey style. And well, over the years, we have eliminated all but one spoiled guac. And at this stage of my practice, we're not going to rock the boat at all. We're in a little bit of a transition. So I'm not going to change too much. But I tell you something, I looked at my year end and I lost a few of the remaining hairs that I have. I'm on a first name basis. I think Harry and Jackson just left. Spoiled guac is knocking down some of my significant fees by as much as 50%. Which is just, to me, I was just on my coaching call yesterday, Alan, and I just did an ELF GIF where it's like, insurance companies say, we're going to pay you less. Why would you stay in network? What kind of idiot would do that? And I'm that idiot. In 2017, we are all that idiot. Yeah.
We have dentists of all ages and stages watching in live on demand. One of my favorite dentists is watching here on Zoom. He's going to be going into the real world after his GPR. What would you do different if you were now, forget about 40 years ago, go to 2023. These young dentists are going to be associates. They might own practice. what would you do different with how your relationship with dental insurance if you were an associate in 2023?
In 23, well, as an associate, you don't have a whole lot of choice. But if you're looking to establish your own independence, what I would do, number one, just do as little as possible, if nothing, with them. In order to do that, you need some pretty sharp communication, empathy. Empathy is the big one. Relationship skills. You also have to sharpen some of your clinical skills, because as you know darn well, Paul, a crown is not a crown.
Right.
So you want to differentiate yourself in something, whether it's aesthetics, occlusion, implant placement, implant restoration, all on X. We need to get ourselves that niche so we could zero in on that, real laser focused, and do FFS that way. Because you know what, Paul, it's theater of the absurd. Right. Inflation is killing us. Everything's gone up, and somebody outside who's making 7 figures of money is telling us you're going to make less. We got to take back this profession.
I also think, Alan, it's just so nacho nuts that they're denying dental treatment. They're not even in the room. They're not looking at it with you. And it's causing so much frustration. It causes a C word here. One of your C words that you like is compassion, but the opposite of that for patients, Alan, is conflict. It causes tremendous conflict because there's mismatched expectations. So let's play a little game here. So we went out of network. So even the Tasmanian dentisting devil, who we all know who he is, maybe he'll pop on, I'm not sure.
Bring him, come on.
He doesn't accept all insurance plans, right? So this show is about what happens when you drop a spoiled guac PPO. You might be in network with 14 and go to 13, 10 to 5. I finally went from 2 to 0. But one of the good parts, Alan, and it's just simplistic, is we don't have to ask as much permission to do things in our office, and billing patients is more streamlined. What's one of been the good parts of dropping a spoiled guac PPO over your career?
Less aggravation. More of, look, anybody can fix a tooth. We are here to learn care, to give care, skill, judgment, leadership, and influence. Yeah. When you have he who does the paying does the saying.
Yeah.
So when you allow a third party who has no vested interest in the well-being of that human being on the other side of your chair, there is such a disconnect and a conflict of interest. And who gets the blame when things go sideways?
Right.
It's the talent. The talent is being put down the scale, and somebody else is pulling the strings on the talent.
It's unrealistic expectations is what your patients think of you. So that's good. The bad part, I will share that the bad part of dropping a spoiled guac PPO is that dentists are people too, Alan. People don't think we have feelings. Is that patients that I've treated for years have left the office, and I felt demoralized to some degree that they would do that. And I didn't cry outwardly. I cried a little inside, but I sort of said, oh man, that patient's been a patient of our practice for a decade. I've helped them do so many things, and it's their choice, right? It's their choice. You always say the home of you can say your New Jersey, land of the free, home of the
bride, baby.
But it is a little demoralizing sometimes when they leave the practice based on their insurance. What's a bad thing that's happened from dropping a spoiled guac PPO in your world?
Yeah, exactly the same thing, Paul. And, I tell everybody, and this is part of my talk also that you'll hear at the Dental Nachos event. We treat 3 very sensitive parts of the body. Have you heard me do this?
I don't know if I have.
We treat the mouth, right? We treat the psyche, because how you smile, how you feel about this affects your emotions. Right. The very sensitive body part that we treat, Paul, is the wallet.
Right.
And the trick is, when we talk to these patients about dropping spoiled guac, we got to let them understand that we consider it a serious responsibility to create a treatment plan that makes sense to them in all 3 sensitive body parts. And that's the trick. That's the art that we all have to practice now.
And I think that's really awesome, Alan. I was thinking as you were saying that when I was younger, I remember these candies called Now and Laters. They were terrible for your teeth. Terrible, right? And I tell patients, hey, we're here to help you now, but if going to a dentist network is the best thing for you, we'll be here later if you need us, but we hope that relationship with your dentist is great. So that's the good, the bad. Now I'll go with one of, what's the annoying part? And really one of the most annoying parts to me was when I call it shift status instead of drop, right? When we shifted status, with all these patients who are in our practice. They sent a letter to the patients kind of saying your dentist hates you. And I felt, whether it's not illegal, I think it's borderline unethical / unfair. Because think about this, Alan. We were just their provider. I know you don't like that word, but we were just their provider. And we say we're shifting status. And then they say to us, basically, tell the patients your dentist hates you. So I find that these letters, whether they're not illegal, those have been some of the annoying parts to me. What's been an annoying part?
They're immoral.
Yeah,
they're immoral. They stand in the way of something that we have worked very hard to build. And you know what? We're all in business to earn more money than we spend. That's called a profit. That's not an evil thing. But somebody is getting in the way and telling us, number one, not only are we going to tell you how much you may earn and how much you have, they're going to tell you can't make a profit on your terms.
Right.
And that's no good. The very annoying part is that somebody else is saying, as you said, your dentist is ripping you off.
Right.
And it's utter, I'll keep it clean, family TV. It is utter nonsense.
I like it.
It really does want to make you bang your head against the wall. And we have to be very proactive. We are telling a lot of our patients now, looking forward, assuming, my transition is in the works, we know that, but, as long as it may take, we're telling them it's getting harder and harder to provide to you the care that you're used to having under the terms and conditions of spoiled guac.
I love I love storytelling. You love it too. Just to catch everybody up, I remember I always wanted to do like a radio talk show, Alan, station identification. I remember WIP. So I'm here with Dr. Alan Stern on Nacho TV. Dr. Alan Stern is a practice owner. He's the founder of Better, Richer, Stronger. How can people find out about Better, Richer, Stronger, Alan?
Exactly that. The best way would be either email me, betterricherstronger@gmail.com, or go over to my Facebook site. That's where it's all happening. The Facebook site is called Better, Richer, Stronger. I do sit down with anybody from the Nacho community, and I'll sit down and I'll talk any issue with you.
You've
about
been awesome with your free virtual cup of coffee. That's really
or for free virtual protein supplement.
So we're talking about the good, the bad, the annoying. I'm Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman. I've been a dentist since 2002. This is our first year fully out of network with every single dental insurance. Some of the good parts has been for our morale. It's been great for our team morale. I was sharing this, Alan, with my coaching client yesterday because his office manager was on and my dad was an amazing dad and he was, a great dentist. But I did used to say to him, don't you think it's kind of messed up that we charge $1,000 for one crown and we accept $680 for another? He goes, well, that's just how it works. He was right. But if you think about it, it really confuses your team when they say, Alan pays $1,000 and Paul only pays $690. Just in and of itself, that's a confusing part. So now we have deconfusified it. The only way people get adjustments is on our terms. I'm a huge fan of membership clubs.
Yes.
I wish I started sooner. I was just talking with my brother. We have 301 membership club patients, Alan, and my mission is to hopefully double that this year. Because, people like Costco, people like memberships. So we're talking about the good, the bad, and the annoying. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat here. I want to ask you this, Alan. You're really good with communication. Let's say somebody's watching in and they say, I have a PPO practice. I do $1.1 million a year. I got to drop 2 of my plans. How should I tell my patients? How would you tell them?
I would, once again, I would ramp it up. I would, if you decide, Dr. PPO, that you're getting rid of extra super spoiled, dark brown guac, then what you're going to do is plan to do it in 6 to 7 months. And what you're going to do is tell those patients, as I said before, we are having a real rough time delivering this quality of care on the terms of spoiled guac. And I'd like you to know that we are very sensitive to this. I want you to know about the 3 sensitive body parts that we treat, and the wallet's very sensitive. So what we want to do is have that talk with you. If you want to talk to Angie at the front desk, or you want to talk to me privately, that's great. But let's understand something. Insurance, when you talk about accepting insurance, you're talking about one thing, Mr. Patient, and that is, can I afford to come here? Can you create a scenario where I can come to see you and put food on the table? And I think a lot of times, let's have that discussion.
If a lot of times, Alan, it just takes some compassionate, empathetic sharing, saying, hey, you know how you came in and it was like $200 for this visit and you paid zero? Well, now it's going to be $37.
Yeah.
Would that be okay with you? And it takes
Yes.
a lot of work on your team. I have a nacho sponsor that does insurance billing for us, Alan. You know, my office manager, Kate, says, we don't need someone to help us, yada, yada. 2 years later, she said, this was the best thing ever. I highly recommend you look into somebody who does this. One of the next things I want to ask you, Alan, so that's Dr. PPO. Let's talk about someone who's about not maybe sell their practice 5 to 10 years away. You know, we have insurance negotiation companies that help people in the nacho-verse. You do coaching. I find this to be a tough time because they don't want their practice revenue to go down. But like you say, they also don't want to do class 2s at 52% of their fee. What would you say to this maybe doctor 10 years away from selling?
Yeah, I would create that transition, map it out now. I do like the negotiation companies. Our friend Vivek does that.
Yeah, he's a nacho sponsor.
In fact, I have one of my clients is Dr. PPO, and we have put him in touch with Vivek, and I believe he's going to engage him. I think we need to start fighting back a little bit.
Yeah,
we need to start squeezing as much as we can. And we also need to have an associate. We need to just look for people who want to work in our practice. We have to find the right fit and bring them up and introduce them and transition them very nicely.
I like that.
And I think these decisions involving dropping PPOs need to be very carefully crafted between Dr. Owner and Dr. Owner to be.
I like, and also, Alan, you have to make a treatment plan for your own happiness, be proactive, not reactive. When someone on Facebook says, should I drop insurance? They don't know the story enough. It's taken me 15 years. I've done other training. It's not easy as it is. So make sure, I use this example, is fast food better than no food? Of course it is, right?
Yes.
So before you say like, I'm going to drop 4 plans, get coaching and consulting. You saw, I want to actually bring up a good point for the audience now. You saw Dr. Lincoln Harris speak, right? Dr. Lincoln Harris, founder of Ripe.
Amazing.
What did you think of him, just as a professional, a dentist, a leader? What did you think of his talk?
Well, first of all, I think he's better looking than I am. So I resent that.
They said, me. Yes, both of us. Yes, both of us.
I think Lincoln is taking continuing education to a radically higher level.
Yeah.
And what I really loved about this, in fact, one of my clients wants some enhanced knowledge, and Lincoln is the name that I gave him. Lincoln will do it virtually where nobody has done that before. And he's got it together with occlusion and technique. He's got a pretty.
You can learn from the comfort of an operator. And one of the things I shared, and this is the point I'm trying to get to, is when I said to Link, what do you wish you did sooner? He said, I wish I got coaching. I wish I got consulting. So with this insurance, don't make these decisions on your own. There's Dr. Travis Campbell, who knows so much about PPOs. There's people who know fee for service. I think what do you think it is, Alan, that makes dentists think they have to figure out stuff on their own for their business?
Yeah.
Is it a self-esteem issue, a frugality issue, insecurity issue? I mean, it's happened to me too. So what do you think it is?
All the above and then some. Paul, you know it as well as I do. You have built yourself into something very special.
Thanks.
And with 45,000 followers, when I last look, you've done something very good. I've come from the depths of nothing to where I am today. Neither one of us got there alone.
Right.
And I think we have to understand, we have this title doctor, and I think some of it comes from the expectations that others set for us, that, we're the doctor, we're the all-knowing guru of everything. And that happens to be untrue.
Yeah.
We know dentistry, but we don't know all dentistry. We need a guy like Link to show us some clinical stuff sometimes. We need business coaches. We need health coaches. The finest actors, the finest athletes, the slimiest politicians, the best leaders, they all have coaches and handlers. What makes us any different?
Well, what I was going to say is so great, Alan. When you see a quarterback in the NFL, when they go to the sidelines, they're looking at an iPad with their coach saying, here's what you did wrong, here's it. And so the way this fits into, is it the right move to shift status with insurance, is make decisions based on stats, talk about your own self-esteem. I mean, I have to say, participation with dental insurance is self-esteem related. And I've been, are you willing to say sometimes these people, if they don't want to come to see me out of network, it's okay. And that self-esteem, Alan, may have nothing to do with money. It may not have anything to do with money. Because sometimes we say, oh, well, where will these people go if I don't see them with, rancid salsa DMO? Well, that's their relationship. I mean, our dental schools, I will share, and we won't go on for too long with this, dental schools taking money from insurance companies to promote from dental students, the same students that they're going to pay less the next year. Because in New Jersey, there is a spoiled Guac PPO that pays graduates after 2017 less. What's some of your Dr. Alan Stern commentary on that?
I think, oh goodness, I just don't understand that. Could you see a neurosurgeon being a neurosurgeon 5 years out of school being paid less than a neurosurgeon my age?
It's crazy.
It makes no sense, and I don't see the fairness in that.
And the branding is toxic. I have a 4-year-old and I'm a 45-year-old. So guess what? Doritos, if they want to advertise to me at 45 years old, I know about nutrition. But if Doritos sponsored her preschool, that's not okay. Because if they were sponsoring 4-year-olds, they would affect their nutritional choices. So it would be silly. So having these spoiled guac PPOs with giant signs saying we sponsor this clinic, the same students that they're going to pay less in years, I think dental schools need to I don't know if the right word's called out, but they need to explain why they're taking this money, and I think contaminating the minds of the dental students.
I think there really needs to be an open discussion here on the part of dentists, dental schools, dental students, and companies, that corporate sponsors. Look, money is tight. Money is very tight. And I understand the other side of it, knowing dental school officials and instructors, that they're looking just to keep the lights on.
Well, I know why. Why they don't have any money? Because they pay their instructors so much, right? Because the dental school, oh my gosh, did you just see a dental school proudly said that we get volunteers and they charge over $100,000 a year?
I don't know enough about where the cash flow goes in an academic institution, but I think, what? Open, honest, vulnerable, transparent discussions amongst parties united in a mission. That's the way problems are solved. So I have no freaking idea. That's a New Jersey term, folks. I have no freaking idea about what the needs and wants of all these parties are, and where they're vulnerable and where they're deficient, and where people like you, Paul, or people like me can add a little bit to this discussion to maybe see their blind spots and just clean it up.
So we're all open to learning. I want to kind of finish up with a couple do you wishes, Alan. So one of the things I said was, I wish I started membership clubs sooner. And I also wish that back in 2004, I paid more attention to how dental insurance worked. I wish that when I questioned my dad, I dug in more, but I had 2 partners in New Jersey who said, we just take this spoiled guac PPO. You were the same generation. So, if a newish dentist is watching, do you wish you paid more attention to the business skills necessary to be successful as much as the crown prep skills?
Oh, absolutely. And Paul, as a geezer ager, it wasn't I graduated 81, the year you were born, I think.
Okay, 77. But
77. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got married in 77, the year you were born. But the rules were changing right in that period of time, from 77 to 81. Things happened in the mid-'80s. Crazy things happened with advertising and pro-competition legislation. And all of a sudden, dentists who went into this for all the right reasons, and with the pretty much assumption, look, that we were going to make a really good income and things would be just fine. All of a sudden, we're faced with brand new challenges that we were not prepared to deal with. Yeah. And there was minimal business education in dental school. We didn't need it.
Yeah.
So, I think, and the dental schools, in fairness, they have so much to teach and so little time. So I think the dental student of today, or the BADs, the baby age dentists of today, really need to not only enhance their clinical knowledge, because somebody told me once, a dental degree is merely a license to take CE.
Yeah.
Like Nacho CE, I'm not.
Yeah, thanks.
But also unfortunately or unfortunately, got to sharpen your business skills.
I mean, that's the core, Alan. I mean, I want to, you to share with the audience. I talk about your dental core, your clinical skills, your mind skills, your verbal skills, and your heart skills. Yeah. And that core is important. How long was the plank you did today with your core?
I just made it back to 9 minutes.
9 minutes. And
I did 10:27 3.5 years ago.
Core is so key.
Yeah.
And that's why communication skills. And I just think it's misleading sometimes to say dental schools have to focus so much on clinical. Yes, and not yes, but. Yes, and they need to figure out how to infuse training in how to think your way through your dental career, how to interact with these insurance companies. I mean, they interact with dentists like we're babies. I mean, these insurance companies hold all the proverbial cards. We get out of dental school and say, oh, I guess if you bring me more patients, it'll be okay. So that's why I really appreciate you sharing with us, Alan, on here. I'm going to play a little more content, but I'm going to let you jump off. But before you jump off, tell everyone, whether they're watching now, in the future, how they can reach out to you.
Just find me, please, at Better, Richer, Stronger on Facebook. It's a great site. I write every week. I have education opportunities on there, interviews all over the place. Dr. Nacho's going to be there too.
Yeah.
And the other thing is just email me, betterricherstronger@gmail.com. I'll sit down with you for 45 minutes and discuss any issue you want.
Take Dr. Alan up on this. He's changed people's lives doing it, talking to those people. Well, Alan, happy Nacho year to you. And I can't wait to what we have coming up in 2023. Thanks for being on.
Absolutely. Well, take care, man.
Have an awesome day.
Bye.
So I want to share with those of you watching in that you can ask any questions you would like in the chat at any time or in the Q&A. We have this video is one of my best videos on what to say to patients when you do shift status. So let's check back in on this here. Have to do when you have to keep your crying on the inside, but that's clinical dentistry. Let's stick with the insurance part. So patient calls up, says, do you take my insurance? Do you participate with my insurance? Do you accept my insurance? So I want to bring this up here. What do we say when that happens? So someone calls you up. It's not easy to be on the phone. There's phone calls. There's patients. Someone says, do you accept my insurance? Spoiled Guac PPO. And here's how we start. That's a great question. A lot of patients ask us that. When you say that's a great question, I would want to know that too. That's a great question. A lot of patients ask us that. It just pauses your mind for a minute and lets you think. Lets the patient know that what they're asking is totally normal. But now you're going to start digging deeper. So what's the next thing you're going to say after he says, do you accept my insurance? Spoiled Guac PPO. What you're going to say is, let's take a look here. Next thing I want to say is, here it is. Dental insurance works a lot like a coupon that has blackout dates, a benefit that has blackout dates. Whatever insurance plan that you utilize, we're going to do the best job possible to maximize the benefits of your coupon. Now notice I haven't mentioned their specific plan, Spoiled Guac PPO. So you're going to say, that's a great question. A lot of patients ask us that. Dental insurance works a lot like a coupon with blackout dates. They restrict certain procedures. We're going to do the best job possible no matter what plan you have to maximize the benefits of your coupon. But now bring it back to why they called. They wanted to know, do you accept Spoiled Guac PPO? Are you in network with Spoiled Guac PPO? And what I say next is you're going to be authentic, be genuine, and you can say to them, we are not in network with that plan, but patients in our office use it frequently if that is true. So the plan that my team needs this video for, the plan you guys need this video for, is an insurance people have used here for years. So videos like this, CE videos, can be found on our Nacho On Demand CE platform, the Dental Nacho Supreme. To get the best deal possible on the Dental Nacho Supreme, just text Supreme to 215-543-6454 or visit us at dentalnachos.com. Shifting status. What is the insurance adjustment percentage? Look at fee schedules. How different is the percentage in the adjustment from your list price? If it is 50%, that can be a serious problem in managing that insurance in your practice. When is your next open hygiene appointment? Sometimes dentists will tell me, I can't get hygiene in for 3 months, but I'm upset with the profitability of my practice. Is there a chance that some of the insurance plans that you are taking
are decreasing your fee, decreasing your reimbursement too much. So these are stats to check, stats to track the needs of your team. If you shift status and reduce plans and you reduce hours in your office, that may be wonderful for you, the dental practice owner, but will your team be okay with a 3-day instead of 4-day-a-week work schedule? So these are points to consider. If you want to drop insurance, pick up insurance. It's really about making a plan about your plans. I'm not recommending you drop plans, not recommending you pick up plans. I'm recommending you make a plan about your plans. Look into your marketing budget. One of the things I shared in that video is when patients say, why aren't you in network with my insurance? Often it's easy to say, we do not want your insurance to have a seat at the table when making decisions about your teeth. You can definitely utilize it like a coupon here. Many patients don't have this coupon, Mrs. Smith, so it's great you have this coupon. But what if there's $100 service in our office at this time, we're totally out of network. We're not fee for service in that we have patients pay ahead of time, but we are out of network. We do a lot of financial agreements. If you'd like to learn about how I do financial agreements, I use a yellow form. Just text the word form to 215-798-9897. Be glad to share that with you. So we do not want dental insurance to have a seat at the table when it's deciding what is best for your teeth. It's important to focus on marketing. I would market more before making any major changes. Membership clubs are
such a key part of being successful with this shift is to market more. Might cost you more, but you want to start marketing more for the procedures that you enjoy doing. If they're not related to insurance, even better, whether it's implants, cosmetic dentistry, clear aligners, but market more. Membership clubs are 2 of the M's with being successful there. I hope you've enjoyed what we've shared here. I'm going to tell you how you can reach out to us for help. We've talked about a number of things today, from membership clubs to insurance fee negotiations with Dental Nachos sponsors. Reaching out to us at dentalnachos.com is the easiest way to get in touch with what we do at Dental Nachos. If you would like to always be up to date on our insurance content, text insurance to 215-798-9897. This specific one might not be active at this moment, but it keeps you in a bucket of us sharing with you how to manage your life with dental insurance. Like, again, I'm not recommending you drop plans, sign up for plans. I'm recommending you make a plan about your plans. And one of my absolute favorite things to do is Dentist Job Connect. Dentist Job Connect is dedicated to helping dentists bond together to share in the joy of full contact arts and crafts. We have an affordable and amazing program for practice owners. At the current time, it is totally free for associates looking for positions. To see positions that pay over $200,000 a year and get connected with Dentist Job Connect, just text 200K to 215-798-9897 or visit us at dentistjobconnect.com.